bring a microphone around to you.
Yeah, Ellis, just how do you feel like the secondary played against Auburn, and just where do you feel like this group is now that we're basically halfway through the regular season?
I feel like we played pretty good against Auburn. You know, we settled down, just locked in, just know what we have to do, and just execute what we really have to do, really.
Ellis, I think it was the third or fourth possession by Auburn where they tried to get the ball up to Cam Coleman. You were there one-on-one. Got your hand in there just at the right time. On plays like that, it's just instinct. I mean, how that's something you can actually prepare for? Just kind of run me through that play.
It's really just instinct, really. You know, Cam, he's a good receiver. He's a good receiver, really. That's my guy. Like, he's good at catching the ball, adjusting to the ball well, really. So I just had to play the hands at that point.
Yeah, this was the second week in a row the defense forced a fumble with a punch out. What has the emphasis been on that in practice over the past couple of weeks, and how good does it feel to see those results actually translating onto the field? It's a pretty big spot.
You know, every day in practice they always preach and talk about takeaways. We work at it as like drills and everything. So, you know, just seeing that translate from practice to the games, that was good.
Ellis, Georgia gave up some long touchdowns against Tennessee, including yourself. But how have you bounced back from that last few games? You know, is it hard to kind of put that behind you, or what's been your point of emphasis?
Not at all, really. You know, playing DB, you know, you always have to have a short-term memory from like all the plays that you make. So, really just putting that in the past and just looking forward.
Going back to that pass breakup against Cam, how much more comfortable do you feel being put in those spots where the ball's in the air and you got to go up and make a play?
Oh, really? It came with like experience, just playing wise. So, just having that playing experience, it just was more comfortable for me just being out there, really.
Yeah, CJ Allen, another big game this past Saturday. What has his leadership and play meant to this defense?
His leadership and play meant a lot, really, because that was a big play and big swing, like a momentum really for us. So just him as a leader overall, like, it was really good just to have him there, really, as a teammate.
Kirby mentioned that Auburn did some stuff offensively that you guys didn't rep. What were those things, and what was the adjustment process like?
You know, the team just running new plays on us and everything. You know, it was just adjusting to everything that we had to do, really, just defensively, you know. That's really what I could say about that.
Yeah, Ellis, what are your early impressions of Ole Miss's passing game and just what you guys are going to be up against on Saturday?
They got a really good two quarterbacks. They're really good two quarterbacks, and their receiving room is really good too as well. So just really buckling down on what we got to do this week.
Kind of a follow-up on that too. The challenge as far as eye placement goes, you're facing the Ole Miss receivers. How difficult? Is it any different things you guys have to do to get ready for that?
Say that one more time.
When it comes to eye placement, playing the Ole Miss receivers, what's the challenge for that? To make sure your eyes are in the right place at the right time.
Really, it just starts in practice. You know, if you practice it, I feel like you could do it. Really, that's how I feel.
Ellis, over the course of your development, is there a specific area or something that you've tried to pinpoint to work on, and where do you feel like you've improved the most?
I'd just say just being comfortable, just playing my game. Really, that's really where I say like I improved from the start of this season to now.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, what's Kirby Smart like on the sidelines of these games, trying to get your attention, coaching you guys? He obviously had the clapping incident on Saturday, but just what do you see from him as a coach on the sidelines?
He's a great coach. You know, he's always trying to coach you on and off the field. He just wants the best for you, really, and I see that in him. So.
Yeah, where do you feel like this cornerback group specifically is in terms of tackling? You also had a lot of one-on-one tackling situations with the receivers the other night. It seemed like you did pretty well. Just where have the improvements been in tackling for you and Dalen and DeMello?
It just started in practice. You know, we always practice everything, tackling, ball skills, everything. So just taking it from practice and just putting it into the game, really, that's really what I could say.
Coach and others talk a lot about this team's resiliency. What's that like in the moment? Like, what have you learned on the road at Tennessee, battling back at Auburn? What's resiliency like in the moment from the mindset of the team and the coaching staff?
I say what the coaches preach on here all the time, just being calm in the chaos, you know, like just being calm when things don't go our way, really.
Just kind of a follow-up to that, just what is practice like, and how does that, what kind of role does that play in, you know, you guys kind of remaining calm and never, I mean, it seems like you guys are never out of the game. Where does that come from this group?
Say that one more time.
Just where does this resiliency, this never quit mentality kind of come from for all of you guys, just the whole team?
It starts in practice. They preach it to us all the time. So just practicing it in practice. Really, that's really like what you can do really with that.
Going back to after that Tennessee game, were there any of the older DBs that talked to you, after that game? And if so, what did they kind of say to help you as you kind of moved on from that?
Just short-term memory. Plays like that gonna happen, but just having a short-term memory and just moving on to the next play.
Was there anyone in particular that you felt like kind of helped you with that?
Oh yeah, Dalen had helped me with that. He was like the first one that came up to me and was like, "Hey, next play."
We have another for Ellis. All right, Ellis, thank you.
Thanks,
Ellis.